Hi guys, it's the end of March and we're just heading into spring. Well, I've got a few things to do on the house. This is an important time to tackle some jobs in the garden. In this video, we're putting up a couple of Japanese stone lanterns and I'm going to attempt to make a bamboo fence for the first time. Almost 2 years ago, we were given a whole bunch of stone lanterns called tōrō in Japanese by a builder who was clearing out their garden. They've just been sitting there and finally we decided to put a couple of them up. Originally, stone lanterns were used to hold candles or oil lamps, but these days they're mostly decorative. You'll often see them along temple approaches or in traditional Japanese gardens. Now these are solid stone and really heavy. After preparing the ground for the first lantern, I had a go at lifting the base by myself. I think age is catching up with me. A typical lantern has several parts meant to symbolize elements of Buddhist cosmology. This one has a base, symbolizing the foundation or ground, a shaft or pillar connecting earth and sky, a middle platform that supports the light compartment. It represents harmony or balance between the spiritual and earthly. The light box where the flame would go. This part symbolizes the human heart. A roof that protects the flame. It represents shelter. Viewers with OCD, look away now. After quite a bit of work, it's closer to level now. We got a total of 4 lanterns plus the frog. We're putting in 2 today. The others we're saving for the traditional garden I'm planning to build around the bathroom side of the house, as I talked about in my last video on the wooden siding. This lantern looks just right here. You can tell from the big rocks that this area used to be a traditional Japanese garden. I hadn't really planned to restore it in a traditional style, but the tōrō lantern kind of forced my hand, and honestly, I'm glad it did. I took one of the stones from the border to fill that gap and give it more balance. I also planted a mountain hydrangea in the background. I think it's going to look great next month when the white flowers of the shibazakura are in full bloom and the other shrubs are more established. Now I really want to clean up the mess behind the big rocks there. It's been a bit of a dumping ground for broken tiles and stones. I planted a Sazanka camellia to hide the blue fence and provide a bit more of a privacy screen with our neighbours. Once I've cleaned up that area a bit more, I'll also plant some more things to fill the space. In this flower bed here, I've been planting mostly hydrangeas and daylilies. I'm aiming to fill most of this area down to the bottom of the property with a sea of hydrangea mixed in with these yabukanzo double orange daylilies. These plants are native to Japan. Apart from looking beautiful, they also attract dragonflies, which eat mosquitoes. And in my opinion, mosquitoes have got to be one of the worst things about Japan. However, along with this deutzia, sorry I don't have any footage of it flowering, they tend to overhang the lawn, weakening it and inviting weeds. So I've been wanting to put up a low fence to hold the leaves back. Yotsume-gaki is a traditional style of Japanese bamboo fence known for its simple, elegant and open grid design. The name Yotsume literally means 4 eyes or 4 squares, referring to the grid-like pattern of the bamboo arrangement. It allows air and light through, which makes it ideal for gardens and areas where a subtle visual boundary is desired. Because I want a low fence, I'm going to make it with 3 squares, which you sometimes see. I think they're still called Yotsume-gaki though. I got the materials from my local home centre. The bamboo I have at home isn't very nice and is a bit thin. The 3 stakes are burnt cedar, really cheap from the home centre. The twine is a palm fibre called shuronawa. I also picked up a bamboo saw. There are quite a few Japanese YouTube videos on how to make these fences, which I found really helpful. I've put the links in the description below. I used too narrow a drill bit here. Changing over to a slightly wider one made all the difference. At this point I remembered from watching the YouTube videos that you're supposed to cut the bamboo just above the node, I guess so it looks nicer and that water doesn't get in. The trickiest part was tying the knots. It took a bit of time to work out how to tie it, even while watching YouTube. Maybe I was doing it wrong, but the typical knot used here is more decorative than functional. It's not self-tightening, so it took a bit of practice, but I eventually got the hang of it and managed to work through the rest of the fence. The Shuronawa twine is a little hard on the fingers though. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. It's pretty sturdy. I'm not sure it could take the full force of a soccer ball, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to the hydrangeas and the daylilies blooming and also the lawn greening up. I'll do a full update on the garden in the summer, I think, in another video. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.